Okay. But Heather, listen, Heather. By the way, subscribe to this channel. They are listening good. I'm proud that she's listening. Okay, so hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out, Heather. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. My instructions were simple, but I don't know how much you paid attention to my video, but they were just simple instructions. The simple instructions were you need to get out of Chicago, and I keep telling you this, and you don't ever listen to it, but like this is what I was trying to tell you. Okay, so the city that you're in, any resources or numbers that and it's crazy too because like I don't even know where to start with you. Okay, so you want to use my 1-2 method? That's fine. That's fine. If you want to use my 1-2 method, you're free to do that. But here's the thing, Heather. Did you play Enemy Zero? Did you play Enemy Zero? Okay, that's what I thought. I was the one that played Enemy Zero. You know what I mean? Like I'm the guy that's playing Enemy Zero. But that's not what we're talking. I'm just trying to be nice to you, just so you can have a little bit of fun, okay? But let me tell you what's actually going on in your world, okay? So you're calling this number. You're not being patient with them, okay? Now, if you were patient with them, maybe they'd get you to your outsourced number, which your outsourced number is always in your city. Fort Wayne, anywhere, Indiana, any state normally will have like a help or a guidance number, kind of like a 211, a 411. It just depends on what kind of number they have. But that's not even the point. The point is, I told you to call a police officer. Be generous to a police officer. Be generous to them. Be nice. Don't yell at them. Just say, hey, nothing's been working. I've been in the same spot. And they'll help you out. They will actually help you out. But you're going to have to, one, be calm, okay? And if you can't calm down, it's not going to go anywhere, okay? I'm telling you this. If you cannot calm down, it's not going to go anywhere. You have to be like, and when I mean calm, when you're speaking to them, when you're speaking to a police officer, you just need to say, hey, I keep running into problems. Can you please help me out? It's sad and emotional for me. Do you know why it's sad and emotional for me, Heather? Because it's like, I really do care. I care enough that I want to help you. And that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. All you need to do is you need to take initiative. And there's even I don't even know. I don't know. Like it's like I would love to be I think about that at times. I would love to be at Chicago. I'd love to be at Michigan. I'd love to be, at one of those places, living there. Okay. But I actually love Indiana, by the way. If you don't know that, I love Indiana because Indiana is actually a really good place. But you literally have to go to a state, okay? You have to find what state you like, okay? Alabama, I've even tried to say Alabama for you because Alabama, there's Mississippi. I've tried to say Iowa. I've tried to say just making you look at lower median incomes, okay? But there's this is the problem, okay? So this is the problem. So you're really gambling every time you call on your phone, okay? So every time you call on your phone, Heather, and you talk to them, okay, you're not going to gamble with the police. The police will actually help you out, and they'll tell you the advice I'm telling you, okay? But if you gamble with oh, I'm going to call these businesses and they should be able to help, it's not going to go anywhere. Now, the reason Chicago, okay, I'll tell you because you probably want to know why Chicago is such an expensive area, okay? It's really simple. Okay? It's not just because of Black Ink Crew. And here's another thing. Nobody is going to hire you, Heather. Nobody. They have to have an actual professional person. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be professional, you're gonna have to do stuff you're gonna have to put in work, okay? But there's a okay, so not even Black Ink Crew, okay? Because I do Black Ink Crew because that's an easy one for you to understand, okay? Black Ink Crew is probably one of the easiest things for anybody to understand. VH1 TV show, whatever. But like, there's a video game company called High Voltage Software. And High Voltage Software is a very, very good, is probably like one of the highlights of Chicago. There's also it's just like, okay, what, you're a Chicago Bears fan? See, this is, I already understand your mentality. I get your mentality. But if you care about your Chicago Bears, you'd actually listen to me. I know it's hard to listen to me sometimes, but if you were to listen to me, it'd be good for you. You know why it'd be good for you? Because it's you're gifted a resource of police, okay? So you're gifted a resource of police. Police are great for our community. They help us with so many things, especially like, it's like, because nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you're going to have somebody who's going to talk to you, okay? And somebody who's going to have to help you, okay? But like, oh, it's funny too. Like I want you to be a little chill right now, okay? I see you drawing the little castles down there of for, you know, like Zelda Breath of the Wild and that, but like, you know, this is the thing though, Heather. This is the thing, Heather. You are a mother, right? So you're a mother. You have a chance to make a miracle. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not me just helping you. It's, you have a chance to get out of where you are and have like awesome dinners with your daughters and your kids, with your actual kids. You have like actual dinner and like just actual moments, you know? So if you can do that, all you have to do is you're going to have to get out of Chicago, and the police can help you out definitely with that. That's most likely what's going to happen, Heather, because all the places that you're calling, there's actually like, I don't remember, but there's some shelters do get filled up, okay? So some of these shelters, they'll get filled up. And it's just a lot of people that are looking to crack their problems, okay? But the minute you're not doing anything, okay? The minute you're not doing something, or you're not researching something, or you're not calling somebody, nothing is happening, okay? So that's the one benefit you have. The one benefit that you have is to be like, well, and you know, there's things you don't like to do, Heather. Think about it. There's just things you don't like to do. Nobody really actually likes to brush their teeth. If people tell you they like to brush their teeth, yeah, right. Nobody's sitting here like, oh, I can't wait to brush my teeth. I can't wait to mouthwash, you know. Oh, I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to do that again, you know. Oh, I can't wait to pluck my nose hair, you know. I can't wait to take a piece of my nose hair out of my nose, that kind of thing. But you see, that's what I mean. Those are the simple examples in life of just how you're going to have to do stuff. And nothing happens quickly, Heather. It doesn't happen quickly. But like, what you do get is, you probably do get, at this point, you probably do get a police officer to at least get you out of Chicago. And there's and if you love Chicago, because you keep on telling me you love the Chicago Bears, if you love Chicago, you will get out of Chicago. Because if you actually love Chicago, you'll understand. Like an actual building environments and all that, like, you have to have a plan wherever you're going. You know, if you don't have a plan where you're going or stuff you're going, you're just going to be like this. And that's okay. So every form of it too is like, okay, talking. Let me tell you about talking, how you should talk to people. It's an easy one, but trust me, just try and listen to what I have to say. Okay. First of all, when you're talking, the person's going to give you question after question. And the reason they're doing that is they're checking your mental health. but they're also checking that you're willing to change, like you're willing to do something. But so what you have to do is when you're talking to an authority, like a police officer is probably one of the quickest. The reason I keep telling you police officer is because police officer is the quickest resource you're probably going to have in the long run, because the other resources that you're going to go to, I do think if you go get a caseworker. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, oh, that's not fair to say I need to go get a caseworker, for me to say to you, you need to go get a caseworker. But think about it at this point, okay? I love drawing on paper just like you're doing. I love drawing on paper and writing on stuff. But do you really have a drawing tablet right now? Do you have a computer? No, you don't have a computer, and you don't have a drawing tablet, okay? Now, I love drawing on paper because there's certain things you can do on paper, okay? So do you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to let you know that you could be having a computer and you could be having a drawing tablet, but you're thinking too much into it, okay? Like caseworkers and people of departments that go out and help people, that they're one of the best people ever. They're the best people ever. They take time to look at somebody like you, and they'll help you out. They'll even be a friend to you. They're not going to be mean to you. They're going to be a friend to you. They're going to be caring. They're going to put in time and effort for you, okay? And it's actually nice to have somebody, you'd be surprised the stuff that they'll do for you. You'd be really surprised. And, it's very hard. I got angry one time. Listen to this. I got angry at, what did I get angry at? I got angry at, when I was calling places and stuff, and I was talking to people like this. But when out of all that anger, I was able to calm myself down. And then when I calmed myself down and I didn't see what I'm saying, I'm not perfect, but when I calmed myself down and I listened to them, they eventually said, okay, I'll help you. And they helped me. So that's just a good moment that you have. Okay. If you can listen to that person, they will help you, and they will say, oh, okay. And let me tell you something. Okay. The reason I know how to get a job and all that and all the things that take is a long time ago. This was just the whole entire thing about getting a job. Getting a job was always interviews. Let's say you just go to Kohl's, okay? Or you go to, because everybody wants to work at Kohl's or Best Buy. They're not really wanting to work at a grocery store, They're kind of wanting to work in environments like that, okay? But here's the thing. You'd be surprised. It's not bad at all working for a grocery store. It's actually really fun. But the working at okay, so yeah. So if you're doing an interview, okay, and the state that you're at, and you're trying to say to yourself, I can do an interview. You can't do an interview, Heather. You can do it, but it's going to be a waste of your time. Even when I had some kind of form of a place, right? Some kind of form of a place. And then I went into a Kohl's interview. It was a tough interview too. Plus they'll do some really tough interviews on you. They'll look at your behavior. They'll look at who you are, what you are, if you're actually gonna, help them out or whatever. And, you'd be surprised. So think of this, Heather. You have kids. Do you know what kind of privilege you have? Kids is in an interview work environment. If you get yourself settled into a place, if you listen to me, and then you get this place, and then you go to the jobs you want, right? You'll get your jobs because you have a connection with kids. You have a connection with kids that you're taking care of kids. And that's enough for a manager to like. I went literally to a manager and I asked them, hey, is it would you ever think about hiring me or consider about hiring me for Kohl's? And it's like the minute I didn't have kids, the female got it over me. She got the job over me. The minute I didn't have children, it was like, okay, All right. So I had to learn from that. You know what I mean? I had to learn even from that. Like I was like, oh, all right. Okay. And that's the difference of like you're gonna have to accept something you're not good at, okay? Every time you accept something you're not good at, it will make sense to you, okay? But like um if you learn from it, then you can find what you can actually do, you know? Like one of the things I have, a tangible that I have, is Yu-Gi-Oh. I have different things. I have a ton of things, just a ton of things. But like Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm pretty good at the card game, and I pretty much understand what I'm talking about as opposed to what I'm not talking about. And it's kind of like that's the funny part about it. Okay, see, the funny part about it is Yu-Gi-Oh is a different kind of resource, right? That's a kind of different skill to have, right? Art's a different skill. There's different things you have, but you see, as long as like I get it, Heather, I get it. I love the gym. Oh my gosh, I love it. Do you get what I'm saying? I love the gym. I would literally, me and you, like I would go to the gym with you if you did. You know what I'm saying? I'd go to the gym with you, but like that's the thing too. If you want to work, because I always hear you saying you want to be a physical trainer. Do you know how close you are to being a physical trainer? To get to being a physical trainer, though, you're going to have to put in some effort, I'm telling you. I've talked to actual physical trainers, people who work at gyms. I've talked to them. You're going to have to get their attention, okay? And if you don't get their attention, it's never going to be there. You're going to have to like make them see it, because if they can't see it, who is? You're gonna have to let them know. And you could easily do all this, Heather. This is very easy. This is easy. If you argue with me on this and you don't think this is easy, that's kind of absurd. That's just absurd. Like, it's all you gotta do is this is really simple. It's really simple, but it's just crazy how simple it is. Talk to the police officer, okay? I'll even tell you the words to say to the police officer, okay? Say, hey, please, I'm a mother. Okay, I'm a mother of children, right? Now, listen carefully, because I'm telling you, you're going to have to say all this, okay? I am a mother, and I have children, and I miss my children, right? You could say that, but you don't even have to just say that, but like that's a thing you can say. What you need to say to them is, hey, can you please help me get into a place of living? I'm not at a state of living. I'm not getting help. And that's the thing too. They're going to actually help you out. They are going to help you out, and they're going to take you to the right place. But if for some reason you're ignoring my caseworker advice, if for some reason you're like, oh, I'm not going to go and get a caseworker, that's a bad idea because you're limiting yourself. One, lawyers, they don't want to waste their time with what you're doing right now, okay? Yeah, they really don't want to waste their time with you. Now, if it's not just lawyers, it's not just like lawyers. It's the fact that the caseworker is actually going to care about you. They're going to sit down and talk to you, and they're going to show you why you can't stay in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? They're going to tell you straight up. They're going to say to you, hey, it's great and all to have things that you want, right? It's like I have things I want. You know what I mean? Like right now, I have something I want. I haven't bought Zelda Tears of Kingdom, I always have something I want. There's always something I want. It just depends. But you're gonna have to. I just use the Zelda Tears of Kingdom as an example, or like I want like maybe the expensive creatine, the expensive creatine. But you're gonna have to put yourself in a shoe, okay? You're gonna have to put yourself in a shoe of what am I doing? what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Am I doing anything? I'm not doing anything. I'm doing the same thing I keep doing over and over and over again. Um, but like these other states that you go to, you'd be surprised how pretty they are. Um, Indiana, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Indiana is so beautiful. I'd rather be in Indiana than Chicago. And Chicago is beautiful in different ways. Okay, Chicago is beautiful in different ways, but I'd rather be in Indiana. I'd rather be like Alabama. Have you seen, like, seriously, Heather? Take some actual research. Have you seen the layout of Alabama? You can walk everywhere in Alabama. Everywhere in Alabama is a walking opportunity. I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you too. The pretty thing about Indiana, what makes Indiana such a pretty state, it makes them an awesome state, and why I love them, because they help you say that you're not tough enough. Indiana is one of the best cities ever because they say you're not tough enough. You're going to have to see that at some point, Heather. You're a mother. Do you get what I'm saying? You're a mother. You have to see that. Did you know something, Heather? Let me tell you one of the most beautiful things about Indiana. You ready for this? Because you'd be shocked. Indiana, best football teams I've ever seen in my life. Okay, they have like the best football culture around here. Like, whenever it comes to football, Indiana knows what they're talking about, and they know how to make a football player. I've seen Reggie for the Pacers. He's awesome. He is really good. Reggie, I saw an actual game of Reggie. I got to see Reggie, and that was a very, very good basketball player, a very, very underrated basketball player. When you talk about the top basketball players, I'll tell you how crazy good Reggie is. Reggie is just as good as Kobe. And like that's the thing. Reggie has that feel. You'd be surprised half the things that come out of Indiana. Do you know what's here in Indiana that we have? You would not believe what we have here in Indiana, because we have like some stuff that you can't even like see. You just can't see it. But like we literally have wrestling events and wrestlers that can choose whether they want to come to our events, like professional, like really famous people, whether they want to choose to come to our events or not. And you'd be surprised. Some wrestlers do not want to come and see an event, be at an event when they could be at another event. Okay, so one of the biggest surprises to me was that I got to see Brian Kendrick and Paul London. That's like the masters of wrestling. The masters of wrestling. Those are like the wrestlers. Those are the wrestlers. Those are the people. Like, we literally saw here in Indiana. We saw Rey Mysterio and Booker T. We saw everything. But we literally got to see Brian Kendrick and Paul London, and we were all shocked. We were like all amazed by it. But you'd be surprised that how many different things. You can find a lot of good things in Indiana. Way too many good things. It just depends on what it is. The coaches we have here, outstanding coaches. They're coaches that tell you how to get your life in check. We have great people. Our teachers are great. Our colleges, we're very good at college. We're very smart people. We literally do. We have models. We may not have like we may not be up to Michigan's models, right? But our models are just as good. Like, we actually literally do have a model that ends up, and that's what you want to be, Heather. You want to be a model. And to be a model, you're gonna have to work. You're gonna have to work, okay? You're not working right now, Heather. You know why you're not working right now? Look at you. Look at you. Please look at you. Please look at you. Please. You're sitting in a tent. Please. Do you get what I'm saying? You're sitting in a tent. Why aren't you sitting in a chair? You at least at this point should be sitting in a chair. Don't you agree? Okay. Have a good one.